Aloha everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We will give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greater successes, amazing behind the scenes and much more. Aloha! Welcome to the 25th episode of the first series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today is also the last episode of the first series, so I take more time than usual to thank all our guests, but especially all of you that follow this journey twice a week for the last 3 months. It has been amazing. We will take now 1 month break and we will be back to you with 25 new exciting episodes. I'm sure you're going to love the second series even more than the first one. Today our guest is from Hawaii. She's an amazing photographer. Her name is Christa Funk. Let's discover more about her, surf photography and much more. Hi Christa and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I am on the North Shore of Oahu.
How is it going over there? I heard that people never stop to surf even if there was coronavirus, right?
No, we didn't have to stop surfing. At one point, they didn't want people hanging out in groups on the beach. And that was about the most that happened. Other than that, you could still get in the water and surf. And it didn't, I guess my life didn't change that much with it. What changed for me the most was the amount of shoots that I was doing. A lot of my upcoming jobs were just canceled. So could still get in the water though, it was really nice. It honestly was a good break from all the craziness that was going on in the world with everything rapidly changing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, a lot of people have been affected. Actually, everybody has been affected by the coronavirus, and let's hope to go back to normality very soon because we need it, right? So yeah. So cool. So today we're going to talk about surf photography, surf, and your future projects. But the first question that I have for you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
I would say style. And at least in the idea of shooting photos of a surfer, you want people who have a good personal knowledge of their style and can convey that in their surfing and how they move in the water.
You gave the same answer of Rob Machado, if that can make you happy. He said style in the first episode, and most of the people say fun. You know, it's very important to have fun. But I like the style answer, especially from a photography point of view. I guess if a person has a style, the photography has it's even more beautiful, right?
It's not to say that a picture of someone who doesn't have style and having a good time won't mean something to that person. But if you're looking for something that's that, I don't know, when I think about style, the first person that comes to mind for me that I work with frequently is Leah Dawson. She has a very graceful style, and you see it in photographs of her and in her movie projects that she's done. And it's beautiful and it's lovely to look at. So it just evokes kind of a different emotion and maybe would reach more people than just the individual surfing who just tried surfing for the first time and is going, yeah, I went surfing. That was great. Here's a picture from it. You know, it has a wider audience reach, I think, if it's stylistically beautiful looking.
Okay, cool. When did you start to do surf photography?
I started in, I want to say it was summer 2013, winter 2014 was when it really started for me.
What was the first picture that you have taken?
Oh, the first picture that I took.
In surf photography.
Oh, in surf photography. I was shooting from land at Ayukai Beach. It was late season 2013. So I think it was around like April. And there was a surfer in the background doing a turn on a wave, and a kid running along the sandbar in the foreground with their board under their arm.
That's like, we always remember like our first photo, right? If it was a concert photography or surf photography, that was like, oh my God, actually the first good one, because maybe we took so many bad ones we want to forget about, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Wait, what was your first concert photo? Just out of curiosity, from looking at your photos that you had taken.
My first concert photography I was lucky. It was Elton John, so not bad.
What?
Not bad. Yes. What? Yes. I got accredited to Elton John, and so I arrived there with a very small lens, and they told me I was thinking to shoot from like the pit, and they told me no, you have to shoot from like the back, from the mixer. And then with this small lens, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna do anything, right? So I asked one of the photographers that was shooting for a magazine that had this like 400 Canon 400 2.8. It was a huge lens. I said, like, can you give me like at least 3 seconds the lens? I want to shoot something. And so I shot like maybe 50 pictures in 20 seconds, and then that's it. At least I got 3 good shots of Elton John. Otherwise, it would have been a waste. But what to do? Memories, right? Memories are so important, right? So talking about memories, what was the most amazing or meaningful memory that you have of surf photography?
Oh, I have to say this winter. It was December 31st, and that day, the day before, the waves maxed out at Pipeline, got too big for pipe, and so that was December 30th, and then the 31st in the morning, I just started watching the surf and kind of waiting for the size to go down, because the waves were still too big for the reef. And so as the swell dropped, it finally was like, okay, the surfers are starting to go out. I'm not going to go out yet, not just kind of just wait for it. And that swim out had to be one of my hardest swims out that I've had. It was, at one point I thought, am I really going to make it? And then 0.2 seconds later, I was like, no, I can't think like that. I'm not even going to look back and see how far down the beach I am right now. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to make it. But it was just a very difficult swim out. And then the conditions were very challenging that day. And it was even, the sand wasn't quite right. And there was a big vertical sand berm off the wall. And one of the waves, it was GT. He's a lifeguard here on the North Shore. He's bodyboard. So you have this vertical sand berm, a backwash came off of that sand berm, and it had to have an 8-foot face on the backwash.
Wow.
And he takes off on the wave, and at the same time when they collided, it just made this monstrous backwash that just hucked out and threw across the ocean. It had to be the most insane moment that I've seen. It was absolutely wild. And I think there were about 4 other guys out shooting, 4 or 5 at that point, and we all were just stunned, going, what just happened?
How do you deal with adrenaline and fear when you are in the water?
Embrace isn't the right word. You accept them. You have to check your adrenaline, and I really have to do that because I get very easily excited. Even when I'm driving to go shoot pipe, I'm all jazzed up. I'm oh my gosh, I'm going to shoot pipe. This is going to be great. There's waves. And I have to go, no, calm down, breathe. you're not going to have any energy left by the time you get there. So it's being mindful of that. And then the fear part of it too. What was it? One of the other photographers one time, he goes, only safe spots really on land. So you're just kind of aware that you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation and that it's just part of it. Like that fear's in the back of your head because you use it to keep you alert and focused on what's going on. And so you kind of just try to use the fear and adrenaline in your favor. So it keeps you aware of the situation and what's going on so you don't end up in a bad area and get absolutely just, your cookies tossed and in shambles because you got distracted and drifted into a section and didn't realize it. But sometimes you're just going to get absolutely wrecked. And there's, no matter how aware you were, there's nothing you can do about it.
And do you train in some way particularly, or you just like to swim and you are okay in the sea element, and so you don't need to train?
No, I train. I do a mix of cardio, weights, and yoga, and during like winter season, and then I'll do that. I'll do some kind of workout in the mornings before I go shoot. When it's under about like, when the waves are under like 8-foot Hawaiian, if it's under that size, then I'll do some kind of a workout before I get in the ocean. And then in the summertime, I free dive, I swim, and then I'm also still doing those workouts. So they all tie in together. And I also body surf and surf too. So everything kind of goes along and helps each other.
I got it. At the beginning of the interview, I asked you what it was the most important thing in surfing. In your opinion, what is the most important thing in surf photography?
Emotion, composition, and light. I'd say those three things have the makings for a great photograph if you get that perfect storm with the three of them.
Which kind of equipment are you using? Cameras like, Nikon, Canon? I don't know, you are like, what you like? Which kind of lens?
I use Canon cameras and lenses. As far as a favorite lens, I love 70-200 f4 IS. The bokeh on that lens is just, it's so buttery and beautiful for water shots. I also really like using the 24-105 millimeter because when you have, especially at Pipeline, it doesn't break in the same place every time. And so there's some swell where the waves will be like a lot deeper or more kind of starting at off a wall and further back. And then there's other times where the waves will come up and they'll be basically throwing over you and you're going, oh, okay, well, good thing I have a range on this zoom because I can just zoom out to 24 and still be able to get a shot. So just that range is really nice as well. And then 16-35 is good too. I don't know. And let's see.
It's difficult to find like a favorite one, right? It's like every lens has a different.
So difficult. Yeah. And then as far as housings go, I use an SPL water housing for surf photography, and then for diving and diving photos, I use a Nauticam housing.
Okay. What are your references in terms of surf photography today or in the past? Is there somebody particular that you consider like your reference, somebody to look at, inspiring?
I look at Sean Davey and Art Brewer. I remember seeing Sean Davey's pictures. So I grew up in Colorado, and I remember seeing one of his pictures in this. I'm actually looking at the book title as we speak right now. It's on the bookshelf. He has a section in extreme sports photography. And I remember seeing his surfing images and just thinking they were so unique. And I was a competitive swimmer, and I went, I'd love to be able to swim and have a water housing and shoot photos, but I didn't quite know how to make the pieces come together for that yet. But that was inspiration really early on. And I've always looked to his work, and I met him a few years back, and he's hilarious. Freaking crack up to see and go and talk to. But he's still doing great work. And Art Brewer, his work is just very raw, and it just seems so in the moment and very honest and telling of what exactly was going on at that time period when he was shooting. And I really like that aspect of his work as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you have a picture that is just a beautiful picture, it can be a picture of a wave, or you have picture that can tell you something, right? And then you stand in front of them, and you really into the mood of the person that has been portrayed, or the nature. It goes into a different level that not every photographer is able to catch, right? Because everybody has a camera today, but composition on that, it's kind of something that you cannot touch, right? That makes the difference between like a beautiful picture and a very meaningful one, right? Something that you can connect and relate. So I agree with you. What could be a good advice or a best advice for a young surf photographer?
Good advice would be to submit your work fearlessly, and don't be afraid to have someone say no. And if you're going to pursue surf photography, you need to be consistently taking pictures and just keep getting in the repetitions and the practice, and see what, especially if you're looking at a photograph, like see what part of maneuvers that they're honing in on, and why are people picking that image? Like, what is the surfer doing? What's their body positioning like? And just and dissecting that. So making sure your work gets out there and shooting consistently, I think, are two big parts of it. And just realize, look at where it is with the social media landscape, and try to work within those confines, because print is changing and social media is going just towards whatever trend is happening at the time. So having an awareness of that can help.
What are your future projects? So we said at the beginning that these are difficult time because of the coronavirus, but what is lined up next for you?
What's lining up next for me? Right now, I don't have a big project in the works. Future projects are looking weather-based. They're swell-based. If there are waves coming up, I will be shooting surf. And if the diving's going to be good, I'll be shooting diving. I think I'm just at a point where I want to shoot photos for the rest of my life. So I know future projects will come in different ways, and not having like a big cookie that I'm going towards right now, or something that's coming up that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's okay. It's okay to just kind of be focusing on the smaller projects, because I think the bigger ones are going to come along naturally. So I'm kind of I don't have big projects yet, but I think I will.
Okay.
Point right now.
It's all about mindset, right? If you visualize it, you're gonna get it. I think so. Cool. We're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Favorite surfer? Hank
Gaskell. Looking at my husband, it's his best friend, and they're always giving each other shit. So I'm sure this will get talked about. So
okay, cool. Cool. Your favorite surfboard, if any?
My favorite surfboard is a 6'9" Charlie Smith single fin. It has an airbrush dolphin on it, and that board is just amazing. I love it.
Perfect.
It was made So our nickname is Misty. It's Misty the Dolphin, right?
Okay.
And then she was made in 1980. She's got 10 years on me, so 40 years old.
Amazing.
Still awesome. So fun to ride.
Cool. Your favorite picture, let's say not yours, of all time?
Art Brewer. It was a gun that he took a picture of at Dana Strands, and the board, it's perfectly symmetrical. The light's all pink, and it's just, look up the photo. I think he shot it in 1995. It's perfectly balanced. It's just the board, and it's perfectly balanced. It's the trippiest looking photo.
Okay.
It's standing straight up.
We'll definitely have a look at that. Your favorite surf spot?
My favorite surf spot. Well, you can see it from the road, so it's really not known at all, and it's not widely famous for its waves at all. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. So are you talking for surfing or are you talking for photography? Because there's two different spots.
Ah, cool. Both then.
Oh, okay. So for for the surf spot, you can see it from the road. It's pretty known. You'll figure it out if you come up here.
Okay.
And then for photography, it's Pipeline.
Okay, fantastic. Personal question, your favorite song?
My favorite song is Pure Feeling by Florence and the Machine.
Nice. And then the last question is a little bit unusual. We ask to everybody. Has nothing to do with surf. And if you want, you can answer together with your husband because he is your best relationship advice.
The fuck yeah rule. Okay.
What's that?
Actually, I'm not sorry because it's a great rule. It's a fuck yeah rule.
Okay.
So if you meet someone and you're not thinking like this person is the next best thing since sliced bread, and you feel like you're settling and you're not hearing fuck yeah in your head when you think of the person or when you're out on dates with them or doing things with them, get out. Get out. Leave. Exit the relationship. Find your fuck yeah. Don't settle.
Oh my God, this is the best answer I got so far. You know, like, okay, cool. Yes. Cool. Fantastic. I will keep it in my mind to use with my wife. I will tell her actually right after. Thanks a lot, Christa, for being on the show with me today. And I look forward to talk to you very soon.
That sounds great. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Me too. Say hi to your husband. Bye-bye. Ciao. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!